Three Women in the Hall of Mirrors. A tale about the female body, envy, and the return of one's gaze to oneself. Women learn from childhood not to look at themselves directly, as if slightly from the side, as if through someone else's eyes. At first, it is a mother's gaze, then the gaze of other women, later an imagined one, but the harshest of all, the gaze that settles inside. And very rarely it is a gaze in which one is simply allowed to be. They came to the gym at different times, but with the same tension in their shoulders. The first woman was thin, a long neck, light collarbones, a small chest. Her movements seemed airy, yet inside lived an emptiness she could not name. She looked at her reflection and always saw the same place, the place where it seemed to her something was missing, as if her body had never reached its final version. The second woman was full-bodied, a wide chest, generous breasts, a shorter neck. Her body occupied space immediately without asking permission. She entered the hall as if apologizing in advance. Her gaze instantly found what was too much. She had learned to make herself smaller with her shoulders, her clothes, her breath. They saw each other often, and every time the gaze slipped not over the whole, but over the painful part. The thin woman thought, "If only I had." The full-body woman thought, "Oh, if only I didn't have." It was not cruel envy, it was quiet, ashamed, the kind that does not shout, but slowly devours contact with oneself. The hall was full of mirrors. They were meant to help maintain form, but for these women, they became a battlefield. The thin woman tensed herself, chose exercises that would add. Her body worked but never rested within itself. The full-body woman hid. Clothes became armor, movements restrained, as if every centimeter were excessive. Both came to work with the body, but in truth, they were fighting it. The third woman appeared unnoticed. She was older. Her body did not match any ideal. It bore traces of time, of life, of choices. But she had a clear gaze. She did not rush, did not hide, did not prove anything. She knew what to emphasize, not because it was better, but because it was hers. She moved as if her body were not a problem, but a partner. At first, the thin woman felt envy. How can she? The full-bodied woman did too. Why is she allowed? But something did not add up. The third woman did not have what they believed to be the source of beauty, and yet she was alive, whole, and present. Over time, their gaze began to change. They stopped seeing her in fragments, and for the first time they saw not form, but calm. And then a question appeared, not for her, but for themselves. What in me is mine? The thin woman suddenly noticed her wrists, the lightness of her movement, her walk. The full-bodied woman noticed the warmth of her chest, strength, support. It was not acceptance in the grand sense. No loud words, no promises to love oneself forever. They simply stopped destroying themselves with their gaze. The body did not become ideal, it became a home. And perhaps in that moment, beauty ceased to be a form and became presence, because a woman does not suffer from her body, she suffers from comparison and the loss of contact with herself. And when the gaze returns home, the body no longer hurts.